What's good, Wizards fans? And happy MLK Day. The Washington Wizards were that team, as Kyle Kuzma said, don't be that team. But they ended up being that team, losing to the Detroit Pistons at home. Let's talk about it.
You are Locked On Wizards, your daily Washington Wizards podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Just want to thank you guys for making Locked On Wizards your first listen every day. We are free and available wherever you get podcasts. Today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Make every moment more right now. New customers get $150 in bonus or $150 in bonus bets guaranteed when you place a $5 bet. Visit FanDuel.com/lockedon to get started. The Washington Wizards lose to the Detroit Pistons at home on MLK Day, 129-117. The Pistons were without Big Bogdanovich. They were without Cade Cunningham. They also were on a 7-game losing streak. They were on an 8-game road losing streak. This was the Pistons' first win in DC since 2014 as well. So a lot of bad things, a lot of bad records or streaks were ended by the Washington Wizards losing to the Pistons at home. Now, the only good streak of this weekend, of course, is the Cowboys getting blown out. Saw some people comment about that yesterday. Didn't get a chance to respond, but that is always awesome. But on the Wizards' end, rough loss to the Detroit Pistons. So what did you see that contributed to the Wizards' loss tonight?
Oh, man, it's always fun watching the Cowgirls lose, man. But getting back to the Wiz and the Pistons, man, where do I start with this one? Lord have mercy. I mean, the first win in D.C. since 2014. Wow. I mean, let's get into it. Again, same issues, different game, same script, trash defense, terrible rebounding. We actually shot well from three, but didn't shoot enough. No passion, no effort. Nobody cared. You just lost to the worst team in the NBA by a large margin. I mean, we just lost to matter of fact, with their ball movement, they showed that we are the worst defensive team in the NBA. They cooked us. The fluid ball movement is all it took. Little effort is all it took. And we did nothing. I mean, let's get into statistics. Obviously, out rebounded 52-33. They had 16 turnovers. We only had 8. We didn't capitalize on that. Looking at the starting 5, let's start with Kyle Kuzma real quick. Obviously, everybody wants to talk about him and Jordan Poole, and I'm about to give Jordan Poole a little bit of smoke in a little bit, so just hear me on out. But start with Kyle Kuzma, man. Again, what can he really say? He got 21 points, but 7 for 21 from the field, 3 for 9 from 3. Now, the numbers I do like from Kyle Kuzma tonight: 8 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 steals, 2 blocks. Very active, but I mean, he's not a defensive stopper. You know, he tries. I'll say this for Kyle Kuzma: he tries. He's trying to be a leader. He's trying, but it ain't enough, man. It ain't enough. I mean, this is just weird. This is the worst defensive and rebounding team I've ever seen in DC, ever, and it's not even close. I mean, look at the rest of the starting 5. Tyus Jones, really good game. Obviously, 22 points, leading all Wizards scores. 9 for 19 from the field, though. 4 for 10 from 3. Assist numbers, 7, decent. Gaff, I mean, I'm running out of reasons to like support Gaff, man. Like, look at the numbers. I mean, how many times are we going to give a 15-plus rebounds to one guy? I mean, Duran had what? Look at his stats, man. 19 rebounds. Come on, man. 19 rebounds? Mark Williams had 20. I mean, come on, man. Like, it's not all on Gaff, but can somebody care? Anybody care? Anybody? I mean, come on, man. It's just 19 rebounds. Let's just say something to you. You gave up 19 rebounds to Durant on the Pistons at home. I mean, it's just, yeah, it's hard. It's hard, man. It's hard to even fathom that, man. Denny, underwhelming, 12 points. He did shoot 4 for 8 from the field, 50%. But 2 rebounds. I'm looking for better numbers there. 4 assists, definitely looking for better numbers. 2 blocks, I'll take that. But Jordan Poole, 16 points. And obviously, you know, we're looking for a lot more, but 6 for 14 for the field. And outside of 16 points, contributed 2 assists. That's about it. I mean, he got a turnover. So looking at the starting 5, man, abysmal. To the Detroit Pistons, Kyle, man, like I said, I like Kyle Kuzma, man. He has been a leader. He has been probably the most consistent guy on the team, but the pot can't call the kettle black. Like, come on, man. Like, really? Don't be that team. We are that team. We just lost to the worst team in the NBA, and it wasn't even close. Like, they smoked us. I mean, on the defensive end, they showed how bad we really are, man. I mean, so from a player's perspective, there's not much to say. We look like crap. I mean, we talk all that junk to the Detroit Pistons, and they came into DC and they slapped us around and left and said, don't be that team. So, I mean, I guess to try to look at some positives, man. Patrick Baldwin Jr., definitely a guy that needs more minutes after the deadline. I mean, we know that when his shooting strokes on, he can shoot. And he looked good tonight. I like what I see from or saw from Patrick Baldwin Jr. tonight. And looking at a few people, Shamet definitely boosted his trade value. He has definitely been looking good lately. I'm definitely getting healthy, come back from that injury, man. But even at the second unit, man, Bilal, terrible game. 1 for 4, 2 points. DeLon Wright, 5 points, 4 assists. That's about it. Kispert, 15 minutes, 8 points. I mean, Baldwin Jr. looked good, 3 for 3 overall. Gil, he's pretty much a coach at this point. So, I mean, that's it, man. I mean, that's it. I mean, this is just a terrible, terrible showing, man. So, I mean, I don't really have anything positive to say about this game. There was no effort at all. No effort at all. And then, people want to talk about, oh, well, this is all part of a rebuild. Okay, fair enough. All right, I want you to go to a construction site, take a brick and put it in the middle of the dirt and wait for it to build itself. No, you have to build. It's called a rebuild. It's called building again. You have to build on top of that. It starts with a culture. You're in a transitional year going to your first year. You need to build a culture. What is culture? Playing hard. They're not playing hard. There's no culture. The defense is trash. The rebuilding is trash. Nobody cares. Jordan Poole's always in the center. Some daggone controversy. Like every time somebody's mad on the court, who are they yelling at? It's Jordan Poole. What's the common denominator here? Look, bring him in the office, man. Silly, look, you want to go somewhere else? Boost your own value. We'll help you out. Because clearly you don't want to be here. I mean, by now he knows this ain't his team. By now he knows what the deal is, man. So this whole attitude, thinking it's Golden State, being Hollywood, and here's the thing, E. And I'm about to pass it over, man, because I know I'm ranting here, man.
No, you're good.
He's been playing better. He's actually been locked in. But then you see stuff like this. It's like people are yelling at you for a reason because you might as well stay in the locker room on defense. He's non-existent. Nobody defends on this team outside of Denny, Bilal, and DeLon Wright. That's it. Everybody else can just might as well just stand there and watch what's going on. The veterans have checked out. The young guys are ready to get more playing minutes. The deadline cannot get here fast enough, man, because I'm ready for a rebuild. Lord have mercy. I'm ready to see what we can do with this young talent. But the vets are ready to go. I'm telling you right now, Kyle Kuzma, mentally, he's ready to go. He's ready to get up out of DC. Every veteran on this team is ready to go. And you know what? Looking at coaching, I've had enough. I'm tired of it. How you gave this man a 4th-year option? How? The defense is non-existent. There's no defensive system. There's no philosophy. Nothing. The defense is trash. Trash. You got humbled at home by the worst team in the NBA without their star point guard and Bogdanovich. I mean, we played a G League team and got smoked at Cat 1, man. I mean, it's just I'm over it, man. Like, this is a terrible team. We can't rebound, we can't defend. And it's crazy considering, West has got a defensive system. What system is that, man, I ask? Because I ain't seen any defense in 3 years. I haven't seen any adjustments. I don't see any rah-rah. I don't see any effort, no heart, no nothing, no dog. Nobody cares. Look, February cannot get here fast enough, man. And so we can truly rebuild and build this culture up, man. But look, at the end of the year, I don't care about no daggone 4th-year option. Look at head coach. You need to take a look at head coach and see if we can get an upgrade because he ain't it. I like West, but this ain't a liking contest. This is a performance-based industry. It ain't happening. So at the end of the year, they need to evaluate head coach. I don't know if you need to promote within the staff or go out and get a guy, man, but I've seen enough. So that's where I'm at, E. Terrible showing. Terrible showing, man. No effort. And I get it. It's a rebuild, but you have to play hard. A rebuild is not just standing pat and getting your butt whooped, especially by the worst team in the NBA. I mean, the chances are they're going to get the number 1 pick because it's so daggone bad. They're setting records for being bad. But yet, no. You want to get right, go to DC. Go to DC. They'll set you up for success because every time somebody has an off year or an off performance, they go to DC, man. They look like the next coming of an all-star. So, I mean, it's just I'm done. I'm so done. Let's get to the deadline, and then we can really start this rebuild off right, man. And my bad, I took up the time, man, but I just it really gets to me, man, when you don't care, especially when people are trying to just get groceries, man, and spending money, come out and see your butt, and you can't even play like you want to be here. I mean, I would trade situations in a minute, man. Come on now, I'll care. So that's where I'm at.
Right. No, you're cooking right now. You're cooking, man. I it's hard for me to even follow up, honestly, because you were just cooking. You were preaching MLK Day for sure.
Yeah,
that was awesome on MLK Day. That's just what we needed to hear, man, for sure. And it's unfortunate they play like that on MLK Day and in front of Miss Ali, who started the Chili Bowl, who started, was a big part of the Ben's Chili Bowl. And getting that going. So, it's just a disrespectful performance at home, disappointing, like you said, getting out rebounded by Duran alone. It felt like Alec Burks coming off the bench and putting up 34. Alec Burks hit 8 threes. That's inexcusable. The defense is terrible. Matador defense, cone defense, turnstile defense, just awful. But we're going to get some quick words here, and then we're going to talk a little bit more about the game. And then get some comments here too. But before we do that, today's episode is brought to you by BetterHelp. Around New Year's, we get obsessed with how to change ourselves instead of just expanding on what we're already doing, right? Maybe you finally organize one part of your space and you want to tackle another. Or maybe you're taking your supplements every morning and now you want to actually eat breakfast too. Therapy helps you find your strengths so you can ditch the extreme resolutions and make changes that really stick. If you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online. Designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist and switch therapists at any time for no additional charge. Celebrate the progress you've already made. Visit BetterHelp.com/LockedOnNBA today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/LockedOnNBA. Also, excuse me, sorry about that. Make sure you guys check out FanDuel. The NFL regular season has already wrapped up and it's playoff time, but there's still time to get in on the action with FanDuel, America's #1 sports book. Right now, new customers get $150 in bonus bets guaranteed when you place a $5 bet. That's $150 in bonus bets, win or lose. The app is easy to use, and there are so many different ways to bet, like live same-game parlays, find bets in the new Explore tab, make a parlay in the Parlay Hub, the best way to find popular parlays, and more. So visit FanDuel.com/LockedOn and make your first bet at layup. Excuse me, FanDuel, official partner of the NFL. Like I always say, the cheat code is every time the Wizards play, whatever big man they play against, you make sure you take a bet on him getting a double-double or getting the over on the rebounds. Jalen Duren smashed his rebounds tomorrow or on Wednesday. I'm sorry, Thursday we play the Knicks. So Hartenstein or Julius Randle. Really, Hartenstein, I would take his rebounds or a double-double. Or even go with Brunson, get his points over. He probably will get at least 30 points. Same thing with Julius Randle. Julius Randle had 39 last time we played him. And the last time we played him, Denny said that, he wasn't that tough to guard. And it's the things. Yeah, it's so funny. Like, the jokes make themselves with this team. Somebody just said, excuse me, I'm sorry, I'm a little under the weather. But Brando72 says, the Wizards are a joke of a franchise. Right now, we kind of are. I'm not going to say kind of. We are. But we're in a rebuilding phase. But the jokes write themselves. Like Kyle Kuzma in a press conference said, we don't have the personnel to guard. Then he says, don't be that team. We end up being that team. So the jokes write themselves. Jordan Poole, he's cut down on the shots in the full moments, throwing the ball at the backboard and getting blocked on three-pointers. But still, just defensively, DeLon Wright gets into it with him. Now Kyle Kuzma gets into it with Jordan Poole. So there's some sort of disconnect there. Jordan Poole, has he played better? Yes, he has. But there's still some, mental mistakes that he makes out there and just defensive effort that, he definitely can show some more effort. There's just some miscommunication between him and some of the guys on the team for sure. But he's trying. He's getting better. But a lot of these guys, they're not going to be here past February 8th. They're just not. And it's time. And I'm really excited to see what they get in return for some of these guys. If if Will Dawkins and Michael Winger and Travis Schlenk were able to get back 2 seconds and Marvin Bagley and Isaiah Livers, who has potential, then imagine what they can do for Kuzma, what they can get back for Kuzma, potentially get back for Jordan Poole, potentially get back for Tyus Jones. So there's a lot of things that I think this front office can make something happen. So I'm excited to see that we have some new front office, innovative front office. That's my only hope with this team right now. And that Bilal develops and Denny gets better. But as far as this game, just to finish up on this game, you already said a lot of points. Like they clearly got out rebounded, which is just terrible. Just out hustled, out physical, out toughed. Kuzma gets ejected at the end of the game.
Yeah.
They couldn't guard Jaden Ivey. They couldn't guard him at all. They couldn't stop him from start to finish. They couldn't stop Burks. And some of the stats are crazy too because they shot well from the 3-point line. They shot 46%. They shot 10 for 11 from the free throw line. And they barely turned the ball over. Like the Wizards only had 8 turnovers. The Pistons had 16. And they gave up 60 points in the paint. And they got out rebounded 52-33. So they got dominated in all facets of the game, just all physical parts of the game. They just got dominated. And a lot of it's on coaching too, Wes. If you allow somebody, Alec Burks, to knock down 8 threes, you got to make adjustments. And he's not making any defensive adjustments. You got to either face guard. I don't care if it's boxing one. You got like Nick Nurse did in the finals. I don't really care. You got to find a way to get stops.
Yeah.
Especially when a guy's that hot like that in your own house, 34 points. That's inexcusable. Alec Burks coming off the bench. That's just inexcusable. It really is. And stuff like that, when you allow stuff like that to happen, then of course you're going to be 7-33. So, but I understand it's a rebuild. They're trying to do this on purpose. They're trying to lose games. They want to get the first pick of the draft. They want to get draft capital, but at the same time, you want to be competitive and play with heart and have some pride and at least beat some of the teams that you really should beat. So, definitely a disappointing loss tonight at home. But Kuzma getting ejected. He was guarding Ivy, couldn't really stop him. Got into it with Isaiah Stewart a little bit. Got into it with Jordan Poole a little bit as well. Just a rough game all around for the guys. Tyus Jones, I thought he played pretty well, 22 points tonight. And Bobby Mark said his trade value is really good. So that's good to hear. So I do think they're going to get something back for something valuable back for Tyus Jones if Will Dawkins can work something out. The only bright spot tonight, I guess, like you said, Pat Baldwin Jr., he had all threes tonight. 3 for 3 for the 3-point line. But the question mark for him is can he do anything else? And Landry Shamet shot the ball well tonight too. It's like if the 3-point shot is not falling for Baldwin, what else is he doing? Is he going to rebound? Is he going to defend? Can he pass? Can he put the ball on the floor? Kind of like Bertans. I'm not going to compare him to Bertans, but it's like, when you're not hitting threes, what else are you doing? So, but I'm happy that Pat Baldwin played well, but that's just a question mark for him. He is a 3-point specialist. Johnny Davis got 1 minute tonight. I guess that was kind of late in the garbage time. And then Hamidou Diallo got 1 minute tonight. So Hamidou, he should play a little bit more, honestly. And I'm intrigued to see what Bagley does. And then Gaffer got injured. He got hit in the head. So we'll see if he plays next game. But yeah, I mean, every time he goes up against another big that's stronger than him or plays with physicality, it's usually 20-20 or 25 and 15 boards, 25 and 18 boards, or a big and 50, 60, 40 points. And that's just kind of what you expect. And like I said, we're both fans of Gafford, but when you just have him out there, it's going to be a long night. And the other team's big is going to have an all-star career night.
Yeah, and it's not what you want to see. It's not even good for his development as far as a player. Like you said, and we both agree on this, man, that he struggles when he goes against more athletic, stronger bigs. But let's be real, that's 98% in the NBA. Like, it's 98% of the league. Like, I like Gaff, but he's a backup. He's not a starter. He's a backup. I mean, he's not it. And that's what I'm saying, rebuild, is that you have to build on top of what a foundation is, man. Instead of just throwing a brick in the middle of the yard and say, oh, the house is just going to build itself. No, it's not going to build itself. You have to instill the culture. That's the first thing you do, instilling culture, a culture of winning, a culture of playing hard, playing to win. Regardless if you win or not, playing to win is a dub because of what you're trying to do. You're trying to develop young talent. You're trying to give them good tendencies, good habits. And we're not doing that. The coaching has to be changed. I mean, because you see too many issues. You see so much bad body language on the court that under certain coaches would not have happened. And it's not just Poole. Obviously, Poole's had so many issues here. Not just, I mean, you look at this, or Denny and arguing, man. Stop arguing. Get down the court. That's another issue I got. Stop arguing. Get down the court. Because while you're down there arguing, it's 4 against 5 in transition. And you wonder why we're trash in transition. Because he always has one guy at the end of the court yelling. I mean, it's so much bad body language with this coaching staff. I'm not even going to say the staff, is that Wes Unseld Jr. has to stamp his foot down and take control of the locker room and stop letting the players take control of the locker room for you. Because, it's nice to have Kuz as a leader, but No, the first voice in the room needs to be the head coach. 3 years, 3 years that defense has not gotten better. The players are not responding. How many years are we going to have issues with people arguing? You're the coach. Shore that up. That's embarrassing. Look, you best believe MLK Day, the owner was out there. The whole front office was out there. Anybody who's a who's who within this organization was out there today. And they watched your star player, if you call him that, argue with Jordan Poole, the key acquisition of the offseason. So it's just, it needs to end. Trade everybody who has value, and let's rebuild this team. Enough's enough, man, because the vets don't want to be here. And then it's fine. Cool. Go find the championships elsewhere. But it's time to give a lot of these young guys playing minutes, man. Patrick Baldwin Jr., I'm with you. He can shoot, but that's about it. And when you start comparing Davis Bertans, Lord have mercy, that really hurts your heart, man, because that dude, man, Lord, it's not get on Davis Bertans. But I like I said, I'm ready for rebuild. I'm ready to start over. I'm all in. I got my seatbelt on. I'm ready to roll. The biggest thing is culture, man, playing hard. They're not playing hard. They checked out. And like I said, I try to look at things for different lenses, right? People right now are hurting, man. Like, to be able to spend gas, the ticket, the daggone high-priced daggone food, the parking outside of the arena. I mean, there's so much money you put down for an NBA ticket, man. And for you to just sit there and say, oh, I'm just not going to try. So why should we try? Why should I drive my daggone butt an hour and 40 minutes to go to Capital One if you're not even going to play hard, man? Like, that's a slap in the face. It really is, because people out here are hurting and you're not going to try. I wish I could be a millionaire and not try. I'm just saying, I wish I could have that problem. And I'm just being 100 with it, man. It's really difficult because a lot of us are ready for a rebuild. We're ready to see the next era in Wizards basketball. We've got the front office. I've nothing against the front office ownership. They're doing all the right things at this point. It's the players. You don't care to find we can go ahead and help you out with that. Send them on their way and let's do the youth movement. And that's where I'm at. I've seen enough. I'm ready for the trade deadline. And that's what I'm looking forward to be a totally 100 with you, Eve. So I'm done, man.
Right. I mean, yeah, they clearly checked out. They're ready to move on. They're ready to go to Cancun. They're ready to go on vacation. We know where their heads are at. And it's weird because they just had a good game against the Atlanta Hawks. So It's like they got a good game to build off. Denny almost had a triple-double. Kuzma played locked in. He had 25, 29 points, something like that. And then Poole had a good game. Just the whole team overall had a good game. Everybody played well. So, but then to come out here and just play like that was, that's just how they've been this year. And they're 7-33 for a reason. 7-32, and they probably will be 7-33 on Thursday. So we'll just get that out the way. But yeah, they have to get a top 2 pick, really top 3 pick, and they gotta hit a home run in this draft.
Yeah, I think that these next 2 drafts are very pivotal, man, especially for this team, man. There's talent there, and there's talent that in this year's draft that you can develop. And there's Cooper Flagg, man. Mm-hmm. That's all I got to say. So there's potential for drafts coming up. I think that there's definitely a light at the end of the tunnel. The front office is solid, man, but we just got to get to the deadline, because you're going to see it's just what the MO is going to the deadline. You're going to see games like this. They have checked out. So we're going to get into comments, man. Before we do, tonight's episode is brought to you by Jase Medical. I know we come to sports to escape from some of the crazy realities of real life, except for if you're a Wizards fan. But can we talk just for a minute about preparing for real life? According to the FDA, pharmacies are running out of antibiotics like amoxicillin right in the middle of the worst flu season in over a decade. This is very scary, especially if you're a parent. I can't imagine a more helpless feeling than having one of my children, my wife, a friend of mine, a family member, period, getting sick while a supply chain issue kept them from life-saving medication that they needed. So thankfully, we'll be okay because of Jase Medical. The Jase case is a pack of 5 different antibiotics to treat a long list of bacterial illnesses, including UTIs, respiratory infections, skin infections, among a lot of others. This stuff can happen to any of us. I'm trying to tell you. So all you have to do is visit jasemedical.com and complete your physician encounter. It'll be reviewed by a board-certified physician, and your medications will be dispensed by a licensed pharmacy at a fraction of the regular cost, which is key. It's never been more important to be prepared than today. So all you got to do, guys, is go to jasemedical.com and use promo code LOCKEDON to get $20 off your first purchase. All right.
Yes, sir. Yeah, we'll probably do 2 or 3 guys. Excuse me, guys. We'll probably do 5. I'm not gonna sit up here and gonna read the comments tomorrow, because I'm not gonna jinx it. Tomorrow we should be having a guest on from Locked On Pistons. Kuka Hill from the Locked On Pistons, just to do a recap of the trade, just kind of talk about what we're getting in Marvin Bagley or what you expect, how his time in Detroit was. Same thing with Isaiah Livers. And then he'll probably ask us about Gallo and Muscala. He may not because he probably doesn't think they're going to get much from them anyway. So he may not even ask us about them, but we're going to ask him about the guys that we got just so we can get some insight about, what we're going to get or expectations.
Yeah, he's like, Gallo, that's that dude with the walker with the tennis balls, right? I said
right. Gallo and Muscala.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But we'll start off with Edward Moore. There's not much to say that one, but he says lost the worst team in NBA history. At least we are one loss closer to that first pick. Yeah, that's what we're trying to do. Right now, we're battling with the Pistons for the first pick of the draft.
Yeah.
Just looking at some of the standings here, the lottery, where we stand. My phone is loading. I'm pretty sure we're it's between us, the Spurs, and the Pistons, and the Charlotte Hornets. So they're 8-29. We're 7-32. We're tied with the Spurs at 7-32, and then Detroit's 4-32. So there is some competition. Portland's 10-29. So there is competition for that first pick of the draft for sure. And it's going to be tough. So with our luck, hopefully we don't end up with the 9th pick. I don't want to jinx it, but that's what we've gotten in the past. We got the 9th pick twice, and then the 10th pick. But and then I want to say we got the 7th or 8th with Bilal. But yeah, there's some competition for that first pick of the draft. There's definitely some competition.
Oh yeah,
really bad.
Yeah, that's the only competition we rolling with, man. I mean, for that first pick. I don't see us getting that higher pick like we usually do, man. There's a lot of talent in this draft. I know a lot of people are down on the draft, but I think there's a lot of potential as far as players who you can develop in this draft, man. I think that with the top 5, you can't lose. I mean, obviously, a lot of us went Alex R. I think that a lot of us think that center needs to be the next position to be the emphasis on the team, and I agree with that or point guard. But I mean, between him, Ron Holland, I mean, the list goes on. Zillis, I mean, Dillingham at Kentucky's looking good. A lot of talent, man. So I definitely think that we're going to do well in the draft. Let's see. The Truth said Kuzma was about to fight JP on the court, and we get blown out by the Pistons. Worst game of the season. I mean, it's not a good look. I mean, like I said before, MLK Day, everybody who's relevant in this organization was there today. And you saw Kuzma fighting again with Jordan Poole. And that's why, if you notice, man, it was such a change when at the beginning, when we first acquired Jordan Poole, a lot of people were excited to say, to the point where they were calling him maybe the next great player to play for the Wizards in the lines of Gilbert Arenas, John Wall. And then what was it, like 20 games later? Look, we don't view him as a long-term asset as far as being here, man. We're ready to move on. It tells you a lot about his attitude. He's a young guy, man. I'm blessed enough to be able to interview him. Young guy, a lot of fire, but here's the thing, man. This ain't Golden State, bro. Like, this is DC. And we may be trash, but you're trying to build something here. And it comes with playing hard. You checked out. What's that telling everybody else around the league about you, Jordan Poole, when you checked out on a team that's hot garbage? Like, I mean, why would I bring you to my organization to contend for a championship if you checked out on that team? I mean, do us a favor, do yourself a favor, get your value up, and then boom, we will get you that ticket to dollars. That's it.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, Jordan Poole, I think like you said, I think is a good guy. You got to talk to him in person. I think he means well and all that. So, and I don't know what they're arguing about. We don't know word for word what they're saying, but this is the third guy to argue with Jordan Poole during the game. So, we've seen some of the stuff on the sideline where, he wasn't looking at the clipboard, and he's changed since then for sure. He makes sure that he's locked into the clipboard and whatever Wes Unseld Jr. is trying to tell him. But yeah, it's definitely something to keep an eye on. Why are 3 players going back and forth with Jordan Poole right now? This is the third time, and we haven't even got to the All-Star break yet or to the NBA trade deadline yet. So it certainly is interesting. Kuzma this time. Now, Kuzma, and somebody 757 Finest is saying Kuzma arguing with Poole as if he didn't go 7 for 21 is so hypocritical, not a true leader, and the media is going to bring up his comments about the Pistons earlier this year. Yeah, as they should talk about Kuzma's comments. We talked about it already a lot, where he said don't be that team. But yeah, Kuzma, yeah, sometimes he he's trying to be a leader. He's trying, but he got 2 tags got thrown out of the game. So this team, we just have to weather the storm with this team this year. Get through this team, get through this season, and then just get through the trade deadline. See how much we can get out of Bilal this first year. Develop him as much as we can. Danny's been improving, and then look forward to the draft. We just got to get through this season. Honestly, that's what we got to do, and see what we can get back for some guys. Some guys' value has gone up. I think Tyus Jones, I think he's worked his value up, where I think you could possibly get a late first at best. You can get a good player in return, a couple picks, and then Kuzma, I think you can get a first. And then Jordan Poole, I'm just not too sure, but I think Will Dawkins definitely will work his magic to get some type of assets back for these guys.
Yeah, I agree, man. If you look at the move for Bagley, how you were able to get 2 second-round picks for guys who, quite frankly, we were going to buy out, tells you that the light is definitely at the end of the tunnel, man. This front office is going to build this team. There's a lot of talent in the next 3 drafts. A lot of talent, man. So we're going to be all right, man. It's just getting to that point. I'm done with the veteran part of this season. I'm done. As far as the development phase, I'm looking forward to the second half of the year. I'm looking forward to it, man, because I really want to see how a lot of these young guys play with extended minutes. I'm excited to see Denny and Blau in the same lineup. I'm excited for this rebuild. It's tough watching guys not care. You know what I mean? And it's a culture thing. And yeah, but the light is definitely at the end of the tunnel. But yeah, I mean, him arguing with Poole, I mean, it's not. You can't really say too much when you're so hesitant on that jump shot and you're shooting 7 for 21. Like sometimes it just feels like Kuz shuts down driving the lane and attacking the basket and just relies so much on that jumper, and it hurts him and it hurts the team. So I think we all know why they're yelling at Jordan Poole. I mean, defensively,
Yeah.
I mean, we're terrible defense, and he's putting no effort to defense. So it's pissing people off. So I mean, but yeah, I'm ready for some changes, man.
Yeah, and what I will say, because you talked about how people thought he was going to be a cornerstone or a franchise player or an all-star, and Kevin Garnett came out and said that he thought he was going to be James Harden. So I mean that's how far we've come. But Jordan Poole has played better. He was getting booed in the beginning of the year. He's getting booed off the court. No, not off the court, but he was just getting booed by Wizards fans at home. It was that bad at that point. But he has improved. He has improved defensively. He's a cone in a turnstile. So we just he has to put more effort on the defensive end.
Yeah, but like I said, changes are coming, but I remain optimistic. I do. I think that we're definitely headed towards rebuilding this team, man. It's just getting to that trade deadline. And like I said, for Gallo and Muscala, I did not think we were going to be able to get much. I thought they were definitely buyout candidates. They got a couple of second-round picks and 2 very intriguing young players. I mean, Marvin Bagley, I get a lot of people are low on him. Sacramento, Detroit, but let's be real. He can score in the paint. He can rebound. We definitely need that. We need both of that. And Livers, man, keep an eye out for Livers. Like I said, we extend that qualifying offer. He becomes a restricted free agent. We can keep him around, and we can probably do it on the cheap. He's a guy who can shoot. He can play. So I'm intrigued to see who we get back as far as assets and players in return. But this is going to be a really fun to watch young team. We're not going to be very good, but if you're in it to win it long term, and you want to see these guys play hard, which these young guys are doing. You're seeing Bilal put a lot of effort in there. So, you're seeing the right things as far as the young guys on this team. So we'll see. I think it's going to be a very exciting team to watch in the second half, in my opinion.
Yeah. And then somebody from Israel says, great decision making by Wes, cooling down your hottest player who scored your team's first 8 points. So he's talking about Denny. Denny did have a good first quarter. He played really well in the first quarter, and then he did kind of cool off a little bit. Wes has been known to cool some guys down who have been hot. Like even when Jordan Poole was hot in one game, he took him out. Excuse me, he didn't put him back in with like 3 minutes left. I forgot which game that was. Bullets Nation says Daniel Gafford has to go. No way you get outplayed by all of Detroit's bigs. Tyus shouldn't shoot 19 times in this team. Obviously has something against JP, so unprofessional. A lot of the points you said, Daniel Gafford has to go. I mean, he's just not in the role that he's really suited for.
Yeah.
I think he's a really, really good backup big. Or if he's going to start, you got to have a really good backup big that can help him out, or another big that can help him out. Because him just being your only big, it's setting the team up for failure. You got to have more depth. You got to have more physicality because a lot of guys that come here, we talk about all the time, they're going to have 15 rebounds automatically, 20 rebounds. Durant should have had 20 boards. He ended up with 18, but he should have had 20, unfortunately.
Durant should have been a wizard. Let's be real. Like, I was going to be 100. Durant should have been a wizard. He was drafted, what, 13th? We got who at 10? I'm just saying. I'm just going to throw that out there. But, I mean, you know, he's part of a long list of bigs who have had career nights against Daniel Gafford. You know, we know what it is. We both are fans of him. I like Daniel Gafford. Very likable guy, man. But as far as on the court, he is best served as a second unit center. He just because he's not really good at one-on-one defending the paint. He is great at help defense and in paint. And you know, if you ever look at his game as far as defensively, great help defender, man. But he's just not it. So we'll see. His name's been connected too. I mean, I know the Knicks right now, and I know it's the biggest name right now as far as Daniel Gafford, but they need a replacement for Mitchell Robinson. And Hartenstein's been playing good, man, but they're trying to make a playoff run. We'll see. You know, in my opinion, outside of the young core, everybody's a tradable asset. And with these type of performances, you know, why would you want a lot some of these guys here? If you're not gonna play hard, then go somewhere else. So that's what I got to say about it.
Right. Dan that says, man, Durant was right there in the draft. Yeah, so you know, I mean, I think Johnny had a great college career, just like a lot of guys did. But yeah, Jalen Duren was right there at the time. I don't think we were going to get a center because you know we have Porzingis and Gafford, so that was the thing at the time. That's why I was kind of iffy on getting Duren. But of course, in hindsight, it's like, yeah, would you take Duren? 100%, you would take Duren at this time for sure. He'd probably be a top. If you had to do a redraft, he's probably at least top 8. If I look at it on paper again, he's probably at least a top 6 pick, top 5 pick for sure. Excuse me, the way he's playing. I mean, he's playing really good ball. He's just on a bad team. But yes, Asia, I do basketball as well, not just football. You know, so I do basketball as well. So thank you for watching. And Lamar Odom says, "Dang, Brandon not having it." So a lot of people say, "Get some, Brand. Brand's cooking." You know,
I gotta get off my chest, man. Look, that was a tough game, man.
Right. So yeah, we didn't get a chance to get to everybody's comment. I'm not gonna say we're gonna get into everybody's comment in the next episode, but you know, we're gonna try to get to them another time for sure. Maybe Wednesday night, but tomorrow night we got a guest coming on from Locked On Pistons. So if you guys have any questions for him, you can comment them down below in the video or in our community tab. Let us know, and we'll definitely ask them any questions that you guys have about Marvin Bagley. Brandon, he might, if they have like a press conference for Bagley coming up, Brandon, you might be down there too. So if you guys want to send some questions Brandon's way, our way, you know, whatever, Brandon will definitely ask in person because now he has insight at the facility, at the games, press conference, all kinds of stuff. I'm going to be down there pretty soon. I haven't had a chance to go down there, but I'm going to get down there soon.
Oh, yeah. Come on down, man. We have a ball, man. So, yeah, we got insight. I'm just saying. But, yeah, I mean, look, don't let this loss get you down, man. I mean, the light is definitely at the end of the tunnel. We're going to get this rebuild going right. We just got to get through this period, man. We all knew it was going to be a tough period with a lot of these vets. So we're starting to make deals. And if this front office can make a deal with 2-round picks for 2 guys that we thought were going to buy out, we definitely have good times ahead of us, man. So keep the faith, man, and definitely appreciate you guys showing up tonight, man. And we'll definitely see you guys next time, man. So
Yes,
we'll go ahead and call it. So, hey, man, wherever you guys get your podcast, 5-star review is much appreciated. And on the YouTube side, man, definitely like, subscribe. If you're not a member of Locked On Wizards, definitely consider it, man. We have a lot of fun on here, man. We chop it up. We keep it 100. No company lines around here, man. We definitely keep it 100 on here. So definitely rock with us. So, hey, everybody, hail to the Wizards and see you guys next time. And peace.